Hello, we are so thankful that you've joined us to watch chapel today. We are excited to welcome in a diverse group of students to share the service. Today we will be focusing on our Interfaith community. A group of students called Better Together helps us think about how we interact with our students of a variety of different faiths. And so this year their service focuses on civic engagement and volunteerism, service. So you will hear from students and their unique faith perspectives on what service, volunteerism, civic engagement means to them. We invite you, whenever you watch this video, to go ahead and comment where you may be watching from. We want to hear from students and staff, faculty, alumni, wherever you may be, whenever you may watch this, where you are and how you're engaging with our worship community. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Horton-Ware, Director of Religious Life, and we're glad that this can get out to wider amounts of people because the unique faith traditions of our students are a blessing to us here on campus and hopefully beyond. Thank you again for gathering with us here today. Be blessed.
We gather today as a diverse body of people from many faiths and traditions. We do not speak the same language of worship. We follow different teachings made known to us by sacred voices and scriptures through the ages. Nevertheless, we gather. In our gathering, we honor and celebrate our diversity.
A reading from Peace is Every Step by Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Many people are aware of the world's suffering. Their hearts are filled with compassion. They know what needs to be done, and they engage in political, social, and environmental work to try and change things. But after a period of intense involvement, they may become discouraged if they lack the strength needed to sustain a life of action. Real strength is not in power, money, or weapons, but in deep inner peace. With clarity, determination, and patience, we can sustain a life of action and be real instruments of peace. I have seen this peace in people of various religious and cultural backgrounds who spend their time and energy protecting the weak, struggling for social justice, lessening the disparity between rich and poor, stopping the arms race, fighting against discrimination, and watering the trees of love and understanding throughout the world.
My name is Mikkel Kendrick, and I'm a junior nursing major here at Oklahoma City University. I'm also the president of our Better Together committee. My worldview, I call myself a spiritualist. I don't have a spiritual home yet, but I'm just gonna keep learning about the universe until something happens. I follow my life, or the way I live my life is by following dharmas, which simply just means following the principles of nature and doing what's morally right. So when it comes to civic engagement and community service, I lead with love and compassion. Because if you're not leading with love or you're not leading with compassion, then why are you doing it, you know? Like, what is your purpose for doing it? When it comes to like following spiritual leaders or scriptures, I have two people in mind. Ibu Patel, who is the CEO of the IFYC Interfaith Youth Corps. Literally anything he writes, anything he says is like an immediate call to action. It's like, oh yeah, like I should have been doing that before. Like, why haven't I done it? You can find some of his stuff on the Interfaith Youth Corps website if you want to take a look at it. And then there's these two quotes that I have up in my room that I live by. One says, it's like, love and compassion is a necessity, not a luxury, and without them, humanity can't survive. And the second one is, what is it? Oh, if you think you're too small not to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. They're both from the Dalai Lama, who is the spiritual leader of the Tibetan people right now. But yeah, that's me.
All right, so I just try to perform my civic duties because I understand that things like voting and protesting and volunteering can just help the people around me. And I understand that my inaction in those things can hurt the people around me. So what I would say is that the main thing that motivates me is a desire to better the lives of others. And I don't really draw on teachings from others. Normally I'll consult my friends if I don't know what to do. But I do see a lot of connections between my personal philosophy and the philosophies of others. I just try to encourage like justice and humane treatment of all living things. So this is something that I really rely on and kind of guides my beliefs when I make decisions about that kind of stuff.
A Jewish teaching on service from Deuteronomy 10:17. For the Lord your Adonai is Adonai supreme and Lord supreme, the great, the mighty, and the awesome Adonai, who shows no favor and takes no bribe, but upholds the cause of the parentless and the widow, and befriends the stranger, providing food and clothing. You too must befriend the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. A Muslim teaching on service from the Quran 93:1-11. I call to witness the early hours of morning and the night when dark and still. Your Lord has neither left you nor despises you. What is to come is better for you than what has gone before. For your Lord will certainly give you, and you will be content. Did your Lord not find you an orphan and take care of you? Did your Lord not find you perplexed and show you the way? Did your Lord not find you poor and enrich you? So do not oppress the orphan, and do not drive the beggar away, and keep recounting the favors of your Lord. A Christian teaching on service from Matthew 25:35. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you? And the king will answer them, Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me.
Thank you.
Gathered in our various faiths, we give thanks for the blessings of world community as we share our common dream. Homes and schools where children thrive, neighborhoods that are safe and clean, a city rich in colors and cultures, an economy where no one is expendable, a beloved community where rich and poor alike have access to the opportunity for a dignified and productive life. Churches, mosques, synagogues, and temples, where our deepest hope is to be of service to a hurting world. Enable us, as we leave this place, to carry forth this prayer into the coming week, turning our thoughts towards charity, our hearts towards justice, and our hands toward the work of peace.